Plaintiff Janelle Butler says she met the defendant through her husband, and they seemed like nice people. Janelle claims the defendant's husband was on the run from the law, so they asked Janelle to put their bills in her name, and she agreed. But they failed to pay the bills and then started sending gang members to her home to intimidate her, so she's suing. Defendant Heather Amaya says this whole case was between Janelle and her estranged husband, and it has nothing to do with her. Heather admits that her husband was on the run from the law, and they eventually separated as a result. So Janelle is suing the wrong person.
Prove your case.
I met the defendant through her husband around September of '09. She seemed like a very nice person and seemed like she kept her word and was trustworthy. But after I had the papers served, she has tried to intimidate me by having her husband's gang member friends come over, drive by my house and stare at me when me and my son were outside. She's been with a couple of her husband's friends
What does
already.
that have to do with the bills?
Well,
man?
that's just to show her how untrustworthy she is.
It has to relate to something involving these bills. Her being with her husband's friends.
Well, she's not.
Unless they agreed to pay the bill on her behalf. Did they agree to pay the bill on her behalf?
No.
All right. Well, it's unrelated, ma'am. You can't sit here and dish every personal and private fact about the woman unless it's related to the case. So her not paying a bill has nothing to do with her dealing with men unless the men promised to pay on her behalf or unless she gave all her money away to these men, and that's why she can't pay you. Did you give all your money away to these men?
No.
All right. Did they give you any money? If they gave you money, you can pay.
I wish.
Huh?
I wish.
She said she didn't give her all the money to the men and they didn't give her any. So it has nothing to do with it.
Okay.
Unless you know different. They give her money?
By hearsay, but not. I don't have any facts to back it up. So.
Well, hearsay in small claims court is admissible if the judge determines he might want to hear it in a sense that it might affect things in some way or another. So it's up to the judge to determine whether he wants to hear it. And I certainly want to hear it. Did these men promise her money? You heard that they were giving her money? What'd you hear?
That she has a bunch of people living there and they have given her money for bills and stuff. So.
News to me.
All right. Go ahead and finish the background that you want to give, and then I'll allow her a chance.
Okay.
And, you know, she can tell your dirty secrets now that you've alleged these dirty secrets about her, which may or may not be true. Go ahead.
So her and her husband came to me and asked me, they moved into a townhouse in September. And they came to me and asked me if I would put the bills in my name because he had.
These are the bills you're suing about?
Yeah.
Let me allow her to give some background on you all's friendship, relationship, or otherwise before we get to the specific bills. Ma'am?
Your Honor, first of all, I'd like to state that I don't have anything to do with this situation, that this was an agreement between her and my estranged husband. And I do have a document from him stating that.
Have you been legally separated from him?
No, he is incarcerated right now.
Okay, and you all are still married, however.
We are.
And not legally separated. The issue you're going to have is that husband and wife share joint assets and joint liabilities to the extent that those liabilities relate to the family.
Well, the situation is this. He was on the run from the law, and that's when we split up, and we haven't been together since.
I got you. Should have went and divorced him or gotten a legal separation.
We haven't yet, no.
All right,
Yeah.
so let me warn you that you're incurring his bills.
All right.
And he's remarried.
That's true. Did he call you and tell you he was remarried?
No.
Do you think he is?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just saying they do marry each other in prison. You know
never
that.
know. You never know.
They do. Well, they do, and that's the quickest way to get killed in prison, mess with somebody's wife. Well, they say, that's my wife, and you better not touch her. I'm telling you. Make them put that lipstick on. Go ahead, I'm sorry. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry. I'm just being real of how prison life is for all these young folks who think they're so tough and they want to go to prison to prove their stripes. You better make sure you're tough.
In his defense, he's not a gang member. He's a musician.
Okay.
Oh,
my
worse.
God, he's really got a problem. He's a musician, gangster rapper, I hope.
Yeah.
Tell him I'm just having fun with him. Tell him don't come for me when he gets out. Tell me about your relationship with her.
Well, I don't really know Janelle that much. I met her, I think, twice. And apparently her and my husband made this agreement that he didn't want the bills in his name because he was afraid that they would find him.
Where did your husband know her from?
Honestly, I don't know. I think probably the affiliation with music. I don't know. Actually, Joaquin.
You want to step up?
Yeah.
State your name.
My name is Joaquin Vasquez. Yeah, my relationship with Mr. Amaya, her husband, is that he's a musician, gangster rapper, as you might say. And I did some management and promotions for him. And so throughout our involvement in that particular scene, he came to meet, I believe, Janelle through that. He pointed her out on numerous occasions when we were having some concerts and events, and he would tell me that, oh, there's that gal there. She was constantly trying to, I guess you'd say, hit on him or whatnot because he was the livelihood of the show.
So you're suggesting that she's a groupie?
I've never been to one of his concerts.
A groupie, exactly.
Okay.
So that's a lie.
Where did you meet him?
I met him through his cousin.
Where?
Little Bear.
Where? You can't answer the question of where?
No, they were just hanging out and they came home. I've seen them.
Where?
Just around Hillsborough where I live.
Gotcha. Sounds like it was at the concert.
No, it wasn't.
And as for the person that she's talking about, it's Mr. Amaya's. It's his cousin, and that's his also partner.
And she
in
says
the
you only met her twice, and you all were estranged. You weren't living there or anything, huh?
We split up when he started on the run from the law.
No, in terms of being a part of the bill. In other words, did you live in the place where her name was on the bill?
Yes, upon him going into custody.
Whenever it was.
I did, yes.
You knew you were living up
And
under
that's
her
when
electricity.
And then that's when I spoke with her and we made arrangements for the bills so for me to get those paid
Why
off.
are we going
and I
through
transferred
all
those
this
in,
hold
and I
on?
transferred
Why
them
are
into
we
my
going
name.
through all this defense of, I had nothing to do with it. That was my husband. Talk to him. Don't talk to me. And now we're hearing that you had arrangements with her. Go ahead, man. What arrangements did she have?
I have text messages right here.
How much was she going to pay?
She was paying all the bills. I didn't. I had my own in place.
All right. What's the emotional distress for?
She's had people who driving by my house in her car and staring at me and my son.
Okay.
My 13-year-old son live there. I've had to borrow money from my grandma and my mom. And the collectors have been calling me. They threatened to shut off all
You had to borrow money from them to do what?
To keep all my stuff on because I had to pay little bits on her bill. So
Did you pay on her bill?
A little bit, yeah.
Let me see. How much did you pay?
There's the PGE.
And so you want money because you paid on the bill?
No, they threatened to shut off all my electricity, my water, and my gas. No, because I made like a $20
Tell me damage
payment.
that you suffered.
And my credit's ruined.
Okay,
I don't have any credit.
That's what I needed to hear. You were unable. They didn't pay, so it resulted in your credit being damaged.
Yes.
All right. Now that's something that you should be compensated for outside of just the actual bill. If your credit is hurt, that's certainly distressful. $1,103. She admits that she was making arrangements to pay. Judgment for the plaintiff.